There has been a lot of confusion in the community between self care and emotional intelligence. This is your channel to learn the difference. For those of you who are new here, my name is Ana Gil, and I am a content creator and influencer for Officially Unofficial, as well as a pretty awesome headshot photographer. With me today is Michael Sgro, and he is a professional leadership coach specializing in emotional intelligence. Michael, hello.
Hello.
All right. So we're going to talk about this because there is a major confusion in the community regarding emotional intelligence and self-care.
That's right. Just to start off, what I can share about emotional intelligence is that there's four parts. Okay, there's four parts. Emotional intelligence is known for empathy. Okay, but that's only one part. The huge part that folks don't know about, it seems, is what's called self-management skills. Okay. And so that is us taking care of our feelings in real time, like right now. All right. And so the way I talk about it is that it's like having emotional plumbing. All right. And so when you have that plumbing system built in, feelings and thoughts will pass right through us. Okay. And a lot of times when that doesn't happen and we get a clog, all right, that's what initiates self-care practices. Okay. And so self-care is action steps to deal with the clog. But what I'm going to talk about is the self-management skills you need so that you don't have to ever get a clog. Okay.
Clogs
Because
are not good. They're not good.
they're not good. They're not good. And when we think about this as a topic, and I love any self-care activities. I think they're wonderful, but they should not be confused with the plumbing, which is emotional intelligence. Okay, emotional intelligence is made up of self-management skills, and because the word self is involved, does not mean it is the same thing as self-care. Okay, self-care is for the clog. Self-management is to prevent the clog. It's sort of like the Drano of emotional intelligence. Okay, it's
Okay.
making sure our plumbing is working and is in place so that when we have strong feelings or emotions, we're able to pivot to our values and take those action steps. When we merely pass on the feeling, so I'm angry and I pass on anger, that's when we get the clog, okay? Because it doesn't solve the issue at hand. It just activates the feeling. All right. And so when we say self-management, we want to first make sure that we're accurate as to what we're feeling. When I say that, people say, well, I know exactly how I feel. Well, some people don't. They don't know the difference between tired and sad. Okay. And so if I'm tired and I talk to a friend, or sad and I go to bed, you can see how not knowing exactly how you feel, you might do an action step that's not in support of that feeling. Right? So when we're sad, we want to talk to a friend, and when we're tired, we want to go to sleep. Okay?
And to
That's
that,
aligning. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, to that is, yes, I know what I'm feeling. And even is, let's say, yeah, we know how we're feeling, but are we expressing that though?
That's right. And so the thing is, self-management skills is emotional self-regulation. Okay? So expressing it is to you, not someone else. Okay. When we're talking about relationships and managing relationships, that's the feelings of other people and managing that. Self management has to only do with your interpretation, your examination, your plumbing, not someone else.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
And so that's, again, so go back to emotional intelligence. There's four parts. The first two have to do with you, and the second two have to do with everybody else. So self-awareness and self-management is that emotional plumbing, and social awareness, empathy, and relationship management has to do with other people and your engagement of them and dealing with the feelings that they're sharing with you. Okay. But if we don't get our internal experience right and take care of that plumbing, when we go into a situation where we're picking up the bad vibe from someone else, we're going to bring our bad energy to that situation. And now it's going to be worse. And what I'm saying is self-management takes care of your feelings because you're going to act in your values. All right. So this is not self-care. It's making sure you have your emotional plumbing in place. Take care, acknowledge what you're feeling, because feelings are real, but they're not facts.
Mm-hmm.
They're information. The feelings are trying to tell us something. They're flashing lights, like Dr. Susan David says. They're trying to transmit something. They're telling you something. And then we want to manage those feelings, not pass them on.
Right.
Okay? So when we stub our toe, we don't punch the wall. Okay, that's really acting on the feeling, right? We stub our toe, we might say a choice word or two, but we want to take care of that feeling and act in our values and get a bandage or take care of our toe. Okay, that would be taking care of our feeling as a result of getting hurt. Okay, and we emotionally get hurt too, but it's incumbent on us to take care of our feelings because other people are not going to.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take care of our feelings. And that's the self-management part. And self-care practices certainly help, but they're not real-time practices. Self-management is real-time. It's happening right now, that emotional plumbing, right? And our feelings are meant to pass right through us, not stay clogged, not stay sort of in us. Okay?
So let's do, for example, an example, because I think I'm getting this, Michael. I see why you were so adamant about, explaining the difference between, because, yeah, so self-management, let's go through an example of, say, a situation,
Mm-hmm.
right? When we are feeling a certain way, right, with someone else or something out
Yeah,
there got us to feel a specific way,
that's
right?
right.
At that point, what does self-management look like?
Self-management is taking care of that feeling, okay, and regulating it, okay? Only taking action in your value, all right? It's having a positive outlook, okay? So let's just say right now you said something that offended me. Instead of acting out, I'm internalizing it and say, okay, I'm going to pursue a conversation here to de-escalate or to say something soft or kind or ask you to explain what you meant versus do one of these.
Mm.
Okay, that's self-management. It's controlling, regulating our feelings in real time so we don't show up a hot boo-boo mess, quite simply.
It's like self-management also, like, is discipline included in it? So
Sure. Yeah, that's right. That's why, as leaders, you have to self manage because people are going to disappoint you. They're going to make mistakes. But if we don't know how to take care of our own feelings regarding that, we're only going to make matters worse. And so people might understand this by thinking of it in terms of response versus reaction, right? When we react to something, it's probably because we didn't take care of the feeling. Okay. When we respond to something, we can understand what's going on and offer a solution or de escalate or make it a situation where we're building understanding versus escalating it or making it worse. Okay. But that's really that emotional self control, self management. There's also terms like achievement orientation, right? That you got this. Some people need to do self talk. They need to say to themselves, okay, they don't understand what I'm talking about, so let me take care of my feelings here so I can show up in a way that's going to be helpful to the person, right? But we have to do that internal experience. We need to manage that internal experience. And what I find to be true is that a lot of people are not doing this, which is
mm-hmm.
why they covet self-care activities, right? To retreat and take care of those feelings. What I'm proposing is do it in real time. Develop the muscles you need in self-management so that you can be a high-performing leader every single day. And you know what? It's hard work,
It
but this is
is.
practicing any muscle and any skill or competency that we want to develop. So that's emotional intelligence. All right. It includes self-management skills as well as empathy. Okay. But it's not self-care outright. It is a discernible, different trait, skill, competency than self-care. And there's nothing wrong with some self-care, but it's not real time. Real time is self-management.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And you know what? It. I don't want this to come out wrong or anything, but there's no other way for me to say this. But it is so enlightening to engage in conversation with people who have their emotional intelligence checked. It is
Yeah.
amazing because just like you said, people will disappoint us. They will. They might not do it on purpose. They might do it because they don't have theirs in checked, right?
That's right.
But then
Right.
we need to, we need, when there's like two people who understand this, Michael, that conversation is beautiful. That conflict is resolved beautifully,
Yeah, that's
respectfully.
right. That's right. And that's what empathy looks like. That's what understanding looks like. That's what like being simpatico with someone looks like, right? When you're in that rhythm together, you don't put your stuff on somebody else, right? That's what emotional intelligence helps us do, right? And so it is in itself its own skill, okay, but it's got multiple factors. And so the one we were talking about is self-management. And once we take care of our feelings and our internal experience in real time, I call it emotional plumbing, just to make it make sense. We're not meant to hold on to feelings and thoughts. They're meant to pass right through. And as that process happens, we can show up more fully for those around us. We can. And it's beautiful, like you just said.
Yeah, it is. It's like just thinking about it gives me like a sense of calmness.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it is, yeah, it is just great because you're able to express yourself without fear of judgment, without fear of, oh my gosh, what are they gonna think? You're just expressing it because you know the other person understands and they're not judging. They're really seeing what you're feeling and acting on that, not out of judgment, So it's
Right.
just great. It's just great.
Right.
So yes, all right. So that is the difference. So give us a little bit of say when people are not taking care of their managing their feelings and they have to go to self-care. Examples of self-care activities look like.
Yeah, getting a massage, going for a walk. Gosh, there's so many things like reading a book, writing. Right? Those are all great practices, and we should be doing those things. But those things shouldn't happen because we're not taking care of our feelings. It's a separate job. All right,
And
and
that
self
is, yes.
management is the other job. We have to do potentially both.
And
Okay.
that is a good point because don't do it because you didn't take care of, you didn't manage your feelings. Do it because it's something that you enjoy doing. You're like, you
That,
know what? Oh my
that's
gosh.
right. And guess what? Those experiences are going to even be more enriching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they're not meant to necessarily be the space to process our feelings, right? We should be doing that in real time. We shouldn't be holding on to feelings. When we hold on to feelings, they expand, they metastasize, they stick to us, right? But we are not our feelings. We are our values, not our feelings.
I love you, man. It's awesome. That is great. And you guys, if you want to find, send Michael an email, you can reach him there at superhero@michaelsbro.com. And he's awesome. Just reach out to him. And for me, if you would like to send me an email, you can send me an email at officiallyunofficialtv@gmail.com. Let us know any topics that you would like us to cover in the future. So, you guys, I hope this information was valuable to you. And if it was, give this video a click and share with those friends, colleagues of yours that might benefit from this content. And of course, follow me so that you can be notified when this awesome content comes up. This is Anna Hill with Officially Unofficial. And Michael, do you have any last minute suggestions for all of us?
Just be awesome. Be awesome.
That is so perfect. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. This is Anna Hill with my guest, Michael Sgro. Bye.